But quickly about the interior.
Yeah.
It's, again, in terms of volume, space,
You
comfort,
said it's roughly the same.
it's roughly the same. There's a new dashboard. It looks better.
Okay.
It's what I have come to expect from Maruti Suzuki.
So not cool.
Is that it looks better than the one on the Baleno, actually. If you ask me, this design looks better, and they feel well built. But do they look cool? No, they don't.
Yeah.
The cabin is just dark. There's just one hint of silver. And I was speaking to the engineering teams there and saying that there's a small comparison to be made. Like, look at Renault for their budget vehicles,
Yep.
right? They're not throwing color everywhere. It's not an expensive or an it's not bold in that sense, right? But they're doing subtle things which
Yeah.
make a difference, right?
It has a little bit of flair.
Yeah, just a little bit of highlights. Like on the seat upholstery, there'll be a streak of yellow, or on the dashboard, a little bit of white, which all uplifts the sense of the cabin,
Yeah.
right? And these are the small touches that I expect that brands should cleverly integrate now, so that you get the sensation of being in something more special without being dramatic or
Right.
polarizing. And I get it. You don't want it to be, too much for people to handle,
Sure.
right? So they've got this new dash, and the center console is angled slightly towards the driver. There's a new instrument cluster, which looks really nice. So it's simple, it's not flashy, but the needles on it, I swear, I noticed the needles on it, they look so good. So small things like that. And you look at those and you think, nice, right? That's the stuff that gives you joy, right? It's just done, it's not loud, but you notice the needles,
Right.
So those kind of things. Seats, I did between the two cars, we drove the AMT and the manual, and we did about 200 kilometers. And so that's a lot of time in the car, and I didn't get out of the car feeling tired. Right? It's just that I was a bit sweaty because there's still no ventilated seats or anything like that. They're fabric seats.
In this segment, are there other cars which ventilate seats?
No, but just because it's new, there'll be expectations of sunroof, ventilated seats, and whatever.
So the same guys who keep asking for more safety also want a hole in the roof?
Very often.
Okay. No, I'm just checking. I am not judging you.
So we'll talk, okay, there's a lot to talk about with this, right? So the cabin is similar, seats did feel better. So one of the things that a lot of people would know if they've driven a Swift before is that while the seats looked very broad and with side bolstering which was prominent, it was a bit too soft, which wasn't the case here. It held you nicely.
Okay.
So that's an improvement that seems to be in place. Back seat, similar as before. So if you want a car for the back seat, this is not the one. You will go for the Baleno. I know a lot of you are going to be thinking between the Swift and the Baleno. Get the Baleno if you are looking for a family all-rounder. Because the back seat is significantly better there.
Okay.
Right? It's not a small difference, it's a big difference.
So if you have a nuclear family, get a Baleno. If you have an unclear family, get a Swift.
Back to that.
No, Singh is not part of this. Singh is not part of this.
What is
Every time I make a joke like this, you're like, I'm not part of this.
Okay.
And I will have you know that when I said Total Ross on the Japan podcast, it was a hit.
I'm not saying anything, man. You do what you have to.
I see you.
You and you. Enjoy. Keep me out of it.
Pour your heart out. You have 60 seconds. Too little? Try 120. No, too little? Okay, 3 minutes. Yeah, we can't do it either. That's why we have the main MotorInc channel. And this is a clip from a much longer video that discusses this idea in much, much more detail. This vehicle in great detail. If you'd like to see that, you'll have to head there.